Can you trap a squirrel in a Lego cage? That sounds impossible, right?
Oh, he got out.
Oh my gosh! It all started when our bird feeders kept getting robbed, and the bird seed was nowhere to be found. Then one day, this happened. Since I'm a Lego engineer, I wondered, could I trap these bushy-tailed robbers with a Lego trap? Disclaimer, for all you animal lovers out there, don't worry, no animals were harmed in the attempt of making this video. So I got to work. We need to find some pieces that are gonna be tough and that are gonna be big, because we need the least amount of pieces possible for this cage. Because the more pieces you have, the more likely it is to break. So that's what the challenge is. Trapping animals is hard, especially when you are limited to clumsy plastic Lego bricks. I thought, what could be strong enough to hold up against a rodent with strong, sharp teeth? I started with some Lego train track pieces. These are strong, durable, and look like a cage. So I was thinking, if we take a whole bunch of these and make a type of cage out of it, we might stand a chance. I'm gonna be staggering the plates like this. Now we've got to clip all these together to make a nice, strong base. Alright, we've got a very solid base. This is the next pieces we're gonna be using to put the walls or the mesh onto the base. So it's gonna be kind of like this. This is when it really starts taking shape. After building my cage, the next problem was the trap door. The hardest part of this project is I need to use as few Lego pieces as possible, because the more pieces I use, the easier it will be for the squirrel to break out. Now we need to make the mechanism where the trap goes down. So this is gonna be really cool. This is the door I designed for the cage. You've got the hinges up here. This, I'll explain later. This is the next part of the mechanism we've got. And we're gonna have the pedal. This is where the squirrel will step on it and then the cage will close. So this is very important. We've got hinges on the bottom here, so that's pretty cool. And the last big thing I need to mention is this bad boy. This is the most complicated part. This took me weeks to figure out. So I hope that this works now, because sometimes it's still kind of unstable, but this is what's gonna make the trap close, basically. So this is just the most important part of the trap. So after a 20-second build montage, my first design of the trap is ready for testing. If you think I can pull this off, you have to subscribe. I've seen squirrels run all over this place now. There's like a whole bunch of bird seed over there on the ground, and they're finally starting to come. Today is the day that I'm going to attempt to set the trap. So when they come in, we'll put the food there, and then they'll just, but we gotta go put some bait in it and then see if they come back up. So I'm gonna put a little peanut butter in this bowl, and then I'm gonna put bird seed on top of it, and then we'll make a trail out. They seem to really like the sunflower seeds. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of like sunflower seeds on the top right here. After I set the trap, the birds came to eat as usual. Then the squirrel enters the party. The squirrels would walk right by the cage and act like it wasn't even there. And the wind blew the door shut all the time. This made me get competitive. What is something they can't resist eating? After watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Mark Rober, he used walnuts for his video. So I decided to go with pecans, which is a different type of tree nut in our state. So I set some in and around the cage and waited to see what would happen. After about 10 minutes. Guys, we have just made history. I just caught a squirrel in the Lego cage. Let's go check it out. Oh, did you see that? The squirrel broke out like it was nothing. I really underestimated their strength. So back to the drawing board. I took it back up to my studio for some sick upgrades. I added a Technic frame around the whole thing, which makes it 10 times stronger than the brackets we used the first time. Or so I thought. All right, so I've redone the cage, made it very strong, added a new layer of protection. I feel good about this. We'll try it and see how strong the squirrel really is, and this is the second test. This time, it was trapped for about 30 seconds, but when it saw me coming, that was all it needed for this extra boost of energy. We got him. All right, I'm gonna try to let him out. Oh, he got out. That cage was a lot stronger this time. If I would have just let him out, he would have been fine. So after trial and error, day after day, I kept setting the trap, the squirrels would break out, and I would rebuild again and again. This went on for weeks. After one last final attempt, I rebuilt the whole cage a different way because I had finally added too many pieces on there, but it never closed. And just when I was about to accept my defeat, this happened. We did the impossible with Lego again. Dude, my heart is like racing after that. Like it's been weeks, and each time I would design it kept getting worse. And so I was just like, I don't know, man, but we did it. So if you want to see if a bird can live in a Lego birdhouse, click up here and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.